So I decided to follow the money.
Yo, yo, yo.
Hey man, so the record it's really scratched, like badly, but it looks like it was done on purpose.
Could be censored. Is it like a zigzag?
Yeah.
Well, that's how they censored records back in the 80s.
Censored? Who was this guy?
The tiny scribble on the cover says something like The Mechanic, right? That's all I know.
Okay, what about the record label?
Do you see anything on the label?
Come on, you must know something.
Dude, look. I just work here.
Something tells me you know someone who knows.
Alright, fine. I'll see what I can find.
In one way or another, the only way that I make money is like I either do branded content, I work directly with brands, I work with agencies. I've been doing this for 15 years. Even my YouTube channel, like all the revenue from that is based on ads going in front of it. That said, I hate the advertising industry. I hate it. And one of the reasons why I hate it is because they take all the really good words. Like, who decided that advertising people get to be called creatives? Not artists, not filmmakers or writers and musicians. They're not creatives. People who make commercials are creatives. And I said this once to like a really important ad man. He was like, I was like, why? Why do you get to call yourself that? And he's like, we're good at marketing. I was like,
Marshall McLuhan said, decades ago, that advertising is the folk art of the 20th century. He died in 1980 though, and he did not get to see Reagan's America or what we've done with advertising the last decade. We have found a way to disguise McLuhan's assessment by merging the words art and advertising into one concept that makes everyone feel okay with it. Content. I'm not an advertising puppet of big brand using my popularity to sell their products. I'm creating content. I'm a content creator. I'm creative. Bowie, Warhol, Carlin, and McLuhan combined couldn't have predicted this age of influencers. What is art? What is advertising? What is content? Of course, their definitions have changed over the decades, but maybe they were always loosely defined enough to allow them to morph and adapt, and maybe even intentionally evade pinning down. Advertising always wants to be seen as anything but. Influencers are, simply put, the weaponization of jonesing and word of mouth. Subtle. Tell your friends you like our products, and that's your job now. And even though they are legally required to clarify when a post of theirs is paid for, the mechanism behind it depends on subtlety. It works even if you know what it is. Parasocial relationships. The person on your screen starts to feel more and more like a friend, and that's what's exploited by brands to sell you their stuff. But if you start paying attention to these influencers, you'll notice that more and more of them are playfully doubting the term influencer. From, I guess I'm an influencer but not really, all the way to, what my job is? This. Content creating. The ultimate blinder in the influencer game is this kind of Q&A. Questions like, where did you get those shoes? Or what filter are you using? And story times and live streams and constant streams of content aimed at your eyeballs and eardrums, pulling you in deeper and deeper into the delusion of the relationship, which, again, works even if you know about it. You probably don't think much about it. Maybe you send your questions when they call, just to be featured on a YouTube video or an Instagram story maybe. They're relatable. They used to be just like you, but they became better or better looking by buying this specific product. Swipe up, affiliate link in the description. Use code JACKASS25 for 25% off your first purchase. Limited time only though, so act now, order today, send no money, offer good while supplies last. To a customer, each item sold separately, batteries not included, mileage may vary, all sales are final, allow 6 weeks for delivery, some items not available, some assembly required, some restrictions may apply. And then there was a lead. I got a phone number. The basic premise of this content is the creative pursuing their artistic dreams, and there's nothing wrong with getting paid for it. Thus, sponsors. A bit like the Medici family, isn't it? These are the modern Renaissance men and women being given well-deserved patronage by our Catholic churches and Medici families. These are the new Da Vincis and Michelangelos. But there's a crucial difference. The Sistine Chapel isn't trying to sell you something. When Lorenzo de' Medici financially supported Leonardo da Vinci, it's not because he had a new line of sneakers and wanted to reach Leo's audience and followers so he could sell them shoes. The Medicis were already the richest family around. They don't need any of that. They supported art for its own sake. I'd be surprised to hear Squarespace telling a YouTuber, "Here's $50,000, make whatever videos you want, no need to mention us at all, we just believe in supporting the arts." Which is the other issue. What is art? And is it on YouTube? Or Instagram or TikTok? Maybe we can agree on narrowing down the definition by saying that if it's trying to sell you something, then it's not art. Any further than that, and we'll be hitting a urinal in a gallery. It's the following their dreams bit and the creative bit that muddies the waters. If they had said, "I've always wanted to be a human billboard," then it'd be quite straightforward. But it wouldn't have worked so well. And we do seem to prefer delusions over truth. When YouTube started making some creators money, everyone wanted to get in on it. And they did. Not even a doubt about having something interesting to say. Point a camera at your face and start talking. The sponsors will come. Maybe some people feared they weren't interesting enough for anyone to watch their videos, but in true 21st century fashion, they dismissed their self-doubt, believed in themselves, took risks, and overcame all their difficulties, finally making it when they morphed into a motivational poster. And when these self-made reality TV stars bored even themselves, they started talking to you about how you can make it too, with gear reviews, the best vlogging setup of 2018 to be renewed next year, and how to make your shots more cinematic. And of course, budget lenses for young filmmakers. Filmmakers? Casey Neistat, Chris Howe, Matti Aipoja, Peter McKinnon, a combined 20 million subs, all claiming to be filmmakers, visual storytellers. Somehow I doubt Roger Deakins was ever on set wondering, okay, but how can we make this shot more cinematic? And of course, it's all about the story.
Number one, the most important thing is of course the story. But what is a story?
But is filmmaking really about story? Arguments, hypotheses, discussions, reasons, refutations, or any of the traditional instruments of reasoned discourse turn television into radio, or worse, third-rate printed matter. Thus, television teaching always takes the form of storytelling, conducted through dynamic images and supported by music. Writing from the point of view that the medium will shape the content, it's clear that since the rise of TV, the video format has been unable to adapt to intelligent forms of conversation, but rather reduces all arguments to a visual story that wants to appeal to your emotions. And we are okay with that. Even the shitty stock music they use is so blatantly trying to force your emotions a certain way that it would be jarring if we hadn't been so well trained. Recently, McKinnon shot a commercial for Hyundai, and that's fine. That's what commercial videographers do. But then he made another video about the commercial for his channel. It's called Just a YouTuber. It's shot like every other video he does. Stock audio vanilla guitars meant to give his voiceover a dramatic effect, as he no doubt would say. And in the voiceover, he's Eminemming all about how he's been called just a YouTuber and that he could never be a real professional doing shows and... ad campaigns? Really? Was that ever really a problem? People didn't think Peter McKinnon could shoot an ad? The video is meant to make you feel like the stigma against YouTubers not being filmmakers is false, and that he broke some sort of glass ceiling, being careful to 8 Mile it in the beginning by mentioning, "Oh, poor me, I just shoot slow-mo videos of making coffee in my kitchen. You really want me to make videos of your car?" But of course, content is content. The success story of a guy with 5 million subs on YouTube shooting a car commercial is like recasting the first Rocky with Kevin James as Apollo Creed. The rest of the video is just the top 10 catchphrases of motivational speakers, inspiring you to, again, believe in yourself and make content. You could be just like Peter. Where is the art part? Where is the YouTuber making a moving video with a tiny mention at the end of the description box saying, "Thank you Skillshare for supporting my art and not spreading your logo feces all over it"? All I see is people who may have genuinely had the desire to create something and got caught up in some sort of Faustian bargain where they have to churn out content constantly without having any time to figure out what it is they actually want to create. A vlog is a vlog. You've done one, you've done them all. This is about art and our changing perceptions of it. But it's also a lot about the parasocial relationships I hinted at before. We let ourselves off the hook with the idea that human psychology works a little bit like the capitalist free market, but we can't truly ignore the many ways our psychology is manipulated daily by media and advertising and pretend there's nothing wrong with celebrity culture and modern adaptations of it. The people on screen aren't your friends. They're not even real. The community they talk about is only a monetization tool that only works if it tricks you into believing in it. So then what's the conversation around mental health and social media all about? Instagram telemarketers telling you how social media can cause mental distress in the form of anxiety and stress and depression and a million other ways. Oh, this influencer knows how social media eats away at your mental health, understands your anxiety, made such a relatable video about this experience. Let's support them through the Amazon affiliate link. How else can they make a living, right? I can't really blame them though, and I can't blame you either. We have been living in this culture where people talk about themselves as brands, selling themselves online or to employers, completely internalizing and living the capitalist idea of valuing people as products. I know you have accepted advertising as an inextricable part of your content consumption. I know that when YouTubers and Instagrammers say they are so excited their favorite brand wants to work with them, you are happy for them, and when they tell you their sponsor allows them to do what they're passionate about and pay the bills, you nod understandingly and perhaps even envy that a bit. But getting branded, literally, can't be continued to exist as a necessary evil. We have to be more radical because they have become more radical. They've made us accomplices in our own Clockwork Orange torture, blasting their logos onto our retinas without anyone's consent. And to the creators out there, if the only way you can create what you want to create and make your dream come true is if Squarespace or NordVPN pays you to do it, then dare I say,
You may have never had a drink.
what?
Pendora Records?
Who the fuck is this?
Remember a record that never released? That's slow.
Do I have to repeat myself?
I have a test pressing. So you remember it?
Where did you get that?
That's an easy question to answer. I can even give it back to you. I just need to know who's the guy that wrote it and where I can find him.
That's also an easy question to answer. He's a loser that fixes cars opposite the old Holocene. Now who the fuck are you? Is this sponsoring us? Did we pay for this? We paid full price on this. I thought we were sponsored.